All right, folks, it's Monday morning. I'm up here in Midland, Ohio, getting the I&O, the Indiana and Ohio Railroad. They were stopped earlier. I think they ran out of sand and they stalled out coming out of Pleasant Plain. And 2 hours later, here they are. But this is at the 45-mile marker on the Indiana and Ohio Midland sub. This used to be Baltimore and Ohio Railroad, then it was Chessie System and CSX. And it runs from Cincinnati up to Wilmington. Now they're going to be taking the track here on the right and heading towards Wilmington. The other track's the Greenfield sub, which used to go to Parkersburg, West Virginia. And now it stops at Greenfield. It's a dead end. But like I said before, I grew up near these tracks in Loveland. Back in the day, this saw 25, 30 trains a day, and now they're lucky if they get maybe 3, 4. But here they come. They're crossing State Route 68 now. Got the new old XBNSF-9s on the front. I'm gonna try this angle. The sun's not gonna be the greatest, but I want to get them in front of the station. They've had a rough morning. They had a DPU on this thing. I think they just took it off because they stopped a little bit before they got here. So maybe there's a DPU, maybe there isn't. They run manned ones on this line, so I kind of doubt it. I heard the guy on the radio say he wasn't qualified to run this far, so they probably dropped him off. He probably can't go all the way to Washington Courthouse. That's where this train's headed. I'm going to try to get the best shot I can, considering I should be on the other side of the tracks, but technically that would be trespassing, so I'm not going to go over there. Yeah, I picked these guys up at like 7:45 at my house, so I jumped in my car to go chase them. And I saw they were stopped, so I went back towards the house, tried several different crossings, and they weren't moving. So I waited a while, and then I went back home, and then I just heard them on the radio say they were going to give it a shot. I don't know if they got some more pushers on the back to help get them up the hill. But I jumped back in the car and drove out here. It's about 15 miles from my house where I'm at right now. See the old Midland station still standing. I think one of these days I'm going to come up here. It's either going to be fell down or gone. They got a pretty long train this morning. That's probably why they stalled out. I heard him say on the radio that they were out of sand and they were just spinning, so probably needed a few more oats for their ponies this morning, probably needed another unit. So I don't know, I guess I'll have to count the cars on this one. This appears to be a pretty long train for them. Boy, this is a long train. Say that, try that again. It's like they left the DPU on it. I think this is the old Burlington Northern SD that they have. SD42. There's a rare one. You don't see those locomotives much at all. They've had that thing a long time. I've seen it several times. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get ahead of them and get them one more place. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching, everybody. All right, folks, here we go. I'm up at Cuba Road. Got in front of them. Gonna get the other side of the train here, so you get to see both sides of this train. They're pulling hard. Listen to them things working. Yeah, this is a long uphill pull here. Southern Ohio Shortline action here. Indiana and Ohio is owned by Genesee and Wyoming. They're like the largest shortline operator in the whole world. I'm sure many of you have G&W owned stuff in your hometowns or near you. Yellow and orange locomotives they got. I think they're going to repaint these Dash 9s. I know they've done one. I've seen it on the internet. Hope they do all of them. They'd really be cool looking. I think the last time I filmed a train here, I think it stopped. Yeah, they've done a lot of track work up here, fixed a lot of the crossings, new ties. You can see they fixed this crossing and welded a panel track in. Right there you can see it. Got the newer gray steel, the old rustier steel. They've been doing a little bit of work on this line. Actually, I've done a lot of work. It was looking like it needed it. Some of the crossings, especially closer to my house, drive over them, you'd lose a tire in them. Got a little breeze out here this morning. Still a nice day though. We'll definitely take it for November. Looks like we got some loaded grain cars there. I think this is a really heavy train they're pulling this morning. I see a DPU. Alright folks, there you go, heading to Wilmington. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. It really helps my channel and pays for some gas too. So thanks for watching.
Track main 1, no defects. Repeat, no defects. Total axles 408. Detector.
morning. I'm over in Glendale again because lost the antenna off my scanner here last night, so I'm going to walk around here in the daytime, see if I can find it. Up here while I'm here, I might as well try to get the train. Propylene oxide in those tanks. Don't really know what that is, but that's what it says on the tank car itself. If you know what it is, you tell me below. I know what propylene glycol is. I used to work with that at my job all the time. Type of antifreeze. All right, there's one. If we get a couple more, it's going to rain today, so find out what happens. Thanks for watching, everybody. Right, folks, here we go. Got another northbound, 458 axles. Like we got us an empty electric vehicle fuel train here. Pole keeps the lights on. always amazed at how very little graffiti there is on these cars. I guess they don't sit around long enough for them to get to them and do a whole lot. Some have more than others, but this one doesn't have much at all. All right, there we go. Thanks for watching. All right, folks, another northbound here. We got auto racks coming. Get up here on the steps of the cock control. I believe these are loaded. It's hard to see if there's any cars in there. Oh yeah, I saw some there. Interesting artwork on these cars this morning. These PKC cars, new. Okay, here we go. Thanks for watching, everybody. tell you, it's almost as busy this morning as it was last night. We'll take it. So, well, there's the famous I turned off the street light. Well, I think this was going to be pretty much worthless.